Coming up on the next episode of Zuzu All Grown Up.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
You're now listening to Zuzu All Grown Up.
She's been featured in more than 20 films from the early days of film and television.
He is a psychotherapist and her loving husband.
Together, they are on a mission to brighten your day and your life.
It's a time to smile, a time to laugh, a time to expect more.
It's time to get inspired with your hosts, Carolyn Grimes and Dr. Chris Brunel.
It's time to meet Zuzu, all grown up.
As Christmas envelops us in its warmth and wonder, we invite you to dive into the spirit of the season with our special episodes of Zuzu All Grown Up. Whether you've been eagerly awaiting this time of year and feel ready to embrace all its majesty and grandeur, or if you need a little help to embrace the joy surrounding you, our episodes are crafted to ignite the spirit of Christmas in your heart. We aim to make this Christmas truly transformative, much like George Bailey's in It's a Wonderful Life, ensuring your Christmas story unfolds miraculously this season. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us at Zuzu, All Grown Up.
We want to take you on a journey, a Christmas journey. More specifically, a journey into the spirit of Christmas. It seems Christmas comes earlier each year, but the real question is why Christmas ever goes away to begin with. Every day can't be Christmas Day, but the Christmas spirit could and should be with us every day. It's then, when we've learned the true spirit of Christmas, that, as Dickens put it, you can truly say, I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year. I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. I will not shut out the lessons that they teach. You can have that same spirit without a visit of ghosts on Christmas night. That's what we hope the result of this journey will be for you. By introducing you to individuals who truly embody the Christmas spirit, we aspire to deepen your own Christmas spirit, enriching not only your holiday experience, but uplifting your everyday life with greater merriment and brightness. If Christmas ends for you, then it never really began. If you've missed the message, we're about to embark on a journey of never-ending Christmas, and it starts now.
Get ready for Christmas miracles.
Get ready for Zuzu All Grown Up.
Carolyn, Dr. Chris, we've got a wonderful show ahead today. How are you?
Well, we're doing great.
Wonderful, Seth. How are you?
I'm fantastic and excited for our upcoming interview. So, Carolyn, Dr. Chris, over to you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Zuzu, All Grown Up.
People from this wonderful organization who make Christmas wonderful for a lot of people all over. We're going to welcome you, and we want each one of you to introduce yourselves and tell us where you're from and tell us what you're wearing. We want the audience to see you in their minds. They're bell ringers for the Red Kettle campaign. So, Salvation Army people, introduce yourself.
Well, I'll start. My name is Dan Furry, and I am the Divisional PR Communications Director for the Salvation Army Northern Division. We're involved with Minnesota and North Dakota.
And Santa?
Hi, I'm Santa Carlucci. I'm a bell ringer here in Minneapolis, and I've been here since 1993. I'm currently wearing a Santa casual up here at the North Pole, and hopefully you guys can enjoy some of the little artifacts that I have in my office here.
He has a throw. It looks like it's knitted or something like that, and it looks like it's red and white candies or
Candy.
Yeah, the candy.
Oh, yes.
It's great. It's great. And it looks like you might even have a Christmas town behind you on the wall. You are
Exactly.
really Christmas. I love
I
it.
think there's a fire there too.
The fire in the background.
Oh, I see it.
My elf, there's my elf on the shelf up on the wall here. This is our setting because we have done, because of the pandemic, we literally had to have something that the children could see to represent the best way that we could come into their homes. So
Yeah.
we've rejoined that location today for you.
I might add, he has a beautiful white beard too.
Yes.
Ooh.
Well,
Yes.
it's just
It's-
ready for Christmas time.
It's not just a beard, it's the 1276 in the National Beard Registry.
Oh, wow.
I didn't.
Not just a beard. Wow,
So this beard is registered?
It is.
oh my goodness. Well, we have Amanda here. Tell us about yourself, Amanda.
I am Lieutenant Amanda Hines, and I am an officer in the Salvation Army. I'm currently appointed at the Lakewood Corps in Maplewood, Minnesota, and I am wearing the uniform of a Salvation Army officer.
All right. Wow. And we have Mark Dreyer, and I can't begin to tell you what he looks like. Say hi, Mark.
Well, my name is Mark Dreyer. I've been ringing the bell for about 14 years now. As a firefighter, I was initiated with Long Lake Fire. I ring the bell in Long Lake, Orono at the Lunson Fire Lease. And also we do 2 or 3 Vikings games every year. Enjoy it. I put together about 8 bell ringing shifts prior to Christmas and gather other firefighters and normal people to ring with me. Also get a quartet from the high school choir to sing Christmas carols with us. And also one of my firefighter friends' 2 daughters play concert level cello, and they always come and spend a day with us playing the cello for about 2 hours of Christmas music.
And I can tell you that both Mark and Santa are very prolific bell ringers. They raise a lot of good money for the Salvation Army program. So thank you, fellas.
Well, I have to say that Mark not only has his helmet on, but he's in his firefighting gear and he has Christmas lights all over him. He's all lit up, even on his hat. I think you fellas have really captured the spirit of Christmas. I love it.
What a great way to start our podcast today and get into the holiday spirit with from guests from the Northern Division of the Salvation Army and some fantastic volunteer bell ringers. The Salvation Army has been around for a long time. One part of your work is the Red Kettle campaign, held from November through December each year at locations around the country. We also know the funds raised to stay in their local communities.
Dan, will you share a brief history of the Salvation Army and how it started to include the Red Kettle campaign?
Sure, that's a lot. But let me start with by saying the Salvation Army was started by a gentleman named William Booth. He was a Methodist minister in England, and he didn't like the traditional way of holding services or preaching to the people. He preferred to go out into the streets where the poor and the homeless and the hungry and destitute were and preach the gospel to those folks. Unfortunately, the Methodist Church didn't particularly like that he was doing that. So he and his wife broke away from the church and started recruiting people to support him in his effort. And so they did that. They found a number of trained evangelists who would help them, returned to London's East End in 1865. And within 10 years, their new organization had over 1,000 volunteers and evangelists. And they were known then as Christian Mission. And right around that time, he read an article that referred to his group as a volunteer army. Right then and there, he decided on a new name. He decided to call it the Salvation Army. And within 5 years after that, he had a 250,000 Salvationists in England. From there, it spread, arrived in the U.S. in 1880. Right now, today, there's 7,000 service centers in the U.S. And the Salvation Army also serves in over 134 countries in the world. I can tell you a little bit about how the Red Kettle got started. That was actually started in the U.S. In that, There was a gentleman who was out in San Francisco in 1891, Captain Joseph McPhee was concerned that he wasn't going to have enough food for the poor at Christmas time. So he resolved to provide a free holiday meal to the destitute and poverty stricken. He remembered back from his time in England how they used to set out a large kettle on a wharf in Whirlpool to collect coins for the poor. And so the next day, McPhee went out and set out a pot on a ferry landing from Oakland on the San Francisco wharf. And he collected enough to feed 1,000 people that Christmas. And so from that point, the idea spread. It went coast to coast over the next 5 or 6 years and continued to spread around the world. So it's the red kettle has been a tradition for 140 years, 130 years, and it continues strong today. And it enables the Salvation Army to continue our year-round efforts at helping those who would otherwise be forgotten.
Wow.
So the Red Kettle campaign has been a Christmas picture for so long that it's been in over 70 Christmas movies, including It's a Wonderful Life. And why are Christmas selected as the time of year for the Red Kettle campaign?
Oh, that's a good question. It's selected because that's when giving is so important.
We'll join Carolyn and Chris in just a moment with more of Zuzu All Grown Up.
First, an important message.
Start your morning right with premium coffee roasts available at ZuzuNetwork.com and drink them in your Zuzu All Grown Up coffee mug. Also perfect for tea and hot chocolate.
Stay inspired throughout the day with the same gratitude journal used by Carolyn and Chris, and check out t-shirts, hats, books, Christmas keepsakes, and more at ZuzuNetwork.com/shop.
The problem with Christmas is not that we start it too soon, but that we end it too early. Commercialism has convinced us once the last gift is unwrapped, the celebration is about to end, when in reality, it's just begun. It doesn't matter how many lights you put up, or Christmas movies you watched, or carols you've listened to. Christmas is not a material thing. Christmas is a spirit. If the day after Christmas is a total letdown to you after a great big high, you should repeat Christmas because you didn't get the message. Ebenezer Scrooge said he would honor Christmas in his heart always and strive to keep it throughout the year. If you take away from this Christmas is to wait another 364 days to celebrate it again, then you are in for disappointment after disappointment. Christmas will come and go, and you'll go from high to low, never having grasped the real meaning of the most important of holidays. All the lights you put up, all the gifts you buy, won't make you half the keeper of Christmas as Ebenezer Scrooge became. This has been a message from the Christmas Keepers.
Are you wondering whether to sell or donate the car you no longer need or want? Consider that. Donating it to a legitimate, legally recognized nonprofit organization, not only will you receive a tax deduction, but you'll be contributing to a worthy cause. Finding a worthy nonprofit organization can be time-consuming and even a bit stressful. I'm here to present to you one of the most amazing, legitimate 501c3 nonprofit organizations in the world. The United Breast Cancer Foundation. The UBCF provides screenings, treatments, aftercare services, educational materials, as well as patient and family assistance. We ask that you help in that mission by donating your unwanted or unused vehicle to the UBCF. Simply call 888-842-5505. The process is fast and easy. Call 888-842-5505. 888-842-5505. Help us in our mission and get a tax deduction. Call 888-842-5505. Thank you for your support.
A careless driver can change your life in an instant. Do you know what to do or who to call? If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident and don't have an attorney, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free consultation. We can answer all of your questions and estimate the potential value of your case. Call Auto Accident Help Desk and connect with an expert personal injury attorney.
Call 800-297-9766. 800-297-9766.
Don't worry how to handle your medical bills, lost wages, and pain. We will get you the money you deserve.
They got me way more than the insurance company offered.
The consultation is free, and you don't pay any legal fees unless we win or settle your case. Make the smart call if you've been injured in an auto accident. Call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free legal consultation.
Call 800-297-9766. 800-297-9766. 800-297-9766.
Auto Accident Help Desk.
Join Zuzu's network today at zuzunetwork.com/join.
Carolyn is creating an international network of aspiring angels, everyday people who believe that they can help make the world a better place by making life better for even just one other person.
Let us know you want to earn your wings at zuzunetwork.com/join, and Carolyn and Chris will send you inspirational material to support you in your journey.
May all your days be merry and bright.
And may the light of Christmas brighten your life this holiday season. You're listening to Zuzu, All Grown Up.
It's something that we started doing to bring people a joyous and happy Christmas. Because there's a lot of people, even today, who are out there struggling, who don't know what Christmas is, don't know what it's about, often can't afford gifts. And so there's many things that the Salvation Army does, whether it's provide food and shelter or gifts for the children. I think that's what started it at Christmas time and what kept it going at Christmas time.
Amanda, as the manager of the Red Kettle campaign in Maplewood, Minnesota, will you share why you decided to join the Salvation Army after serving in the United States Army?
I absolutely love the mission of the Salvation Army to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ and meet human need in his name without discrimination. I grew up in a family where service towards others was always promoted. My dad was career Navy. My mom was a public school teacher. And I believe that we were created to give back, to be able to do what we can in this world with the blessings that we've received. And the Salvation Army, to me, was very unique among all the churches I had ever visited in the way that it blends our faith with actual daily action to go out and really do the work that God's calling us to do.
And now that you are a Salvation Army officer, what is the most rewarding part of the overseeing the Red Kettle campaign in your area?
The Kettle campaign, it's a lot of work, and the fundraising is very important. It allows us to do what we do. But really what I love is getting out. I get to drive a lot of the routes. I get to meet our amazing volunteers and ask them, why do you ring? And the stories that they share about why they're giving their time is just amazing. We're able to engage the community in ways that we just don't get the rest of the year.
Organizing the volunteers and finding locations to host Red Kettle campaign must be a huge task. Can you share how that works and what it takes to become a Salvation Army bell ringer?
We have a computer program that helps us a great deal with that. It's called Register to Ring. So, and anyone who wants to ring can get onto that site and they can sign up themselves for a bell ringing shift. Can also call. We have people that call into our office and we can sign them up also. We go out, we do meet with different churches in our town, like, hey, would you guys like to adopt a kettle for a day and ring in different shifts? We have great engagement from our local firefighters, Rotary clubs, so many community service organizations come out and ring for us. And the location where I'm at, I have people that come out and ring, and they've been ringing at those same locations for years and years, and it's just part of their normal Christmas routine, and that's just such a blessing to have.
Mm-hmm. So we know that thousands of volunteers are needed to provide the service to their communities. Many are creative with their time ringing of the bells. Some sing, dance, dress up, recruit families and friends, and even make it an annual tradition, just like you were just talking about. Now we'd like to ask our other guests who are dressed up in their official bell ringing attire to share their bell ringing stories. So,
Mark, how important is it for you as a firefighter to give back to your community by ringing bells for the Red Kettle Fund?
It's become a tradition. I pondered becoming a firefighter for some time, and then I finally joined. And then after about a year, I would frequent the grocery store where I rang, and I saw the need to fill some shifts, and I wanted to serve. So I got involved, and then I started recruiting other firefighters. Kids love it, and got the choir involved and the cello players, and it just all adds to the festivity. Sometime I always appreciated what the Salvation Army did. On a couple of occasions, I wound up working kind of a later shift, and I would pick up the kettle and drag it downtown Minneapolis to the Harbor Light Center to drop it off, so I could work a little later. Drop it off at the front door and check it in. And then I think about the third time I did that, I happened to run into Steve Horsfield, who at the time was the director. I met him at the door, handed the kettle over, and just told him I had an interest in finding more about what the Salvation Army does, for people. And so he brought me in, gave me about an hour and a half tour, and just pulled the strings on my heart. And I've been committed ever since.
What is so special about your experience with those that you meet while ringing the bell and recruiting others to assist you?
Well, just getting people involved, and the spirit it gives me just to be helping. It's just always fun to engage with people, and appreciating the customers that make the donations, and it's all for the good.
You know how much money you and your fellow bell ringers have raised for the fund since you started doing this?
I think it's quite a bit. I think Dan could probably pull out the books and tell you.
Well, I was going to say that I don't have the exact number, but I do have an idea that a gentleman like Mark, who's worked for 17 years at the Kettle, and as often as he's done it, I'm absolutely certain it's several $100,000.
Wow.
So, it's an amazing commitment for him and his fellow firefighters, because it really means a lot to us.
Yeah.
Mark, is it true that you always schedule one of your shifts as a bell ringer for Christmas Eve? And why is that so for you?
It's the most festive and joyous day. It's kind of like the Super Bowl of the bell ringing. Seriously, people are so generous. The closer you get to Christmas, Christmas Eve is generally our best ringing day, each year. So I always look forward to it. Just the happy spirit of people.
Oh, that's great. So, of course, as we learned, having fun is a part of the magic of the bell ringer. What would the holiday season be without a visit from Santa? Today is no different. Being in the holiday spirit today, we have a 30-year volunteer bell ringer who might give us his official Merry Christmas so we might recognize who he is.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas to you. Thank you for your donation today.
We understand that in 2017, you were inducted into the International Santa Claus Hall of Fame, which is based on several criteria. Was your service as a bell ringer for the Salvation Army any part of that criteria?
Well, thank you, first of all, for inviting me to such a wonderful gathering today. We are all part of this great organization throughout the United States. And yes, we are critiqued, if you want to say, and brought into the hall based on a gathering of all of our gifts that we've given not only to society, but also to other Santa Clauses in the profession. People have known that I was a bell ringer, so I'm certain that it was probably a beneficial thing for me to be used as another notch to get me into that Hall of Fame. I'm very proud and humbled by it.
Do you ever get asked by children who see you ringing the bell why you aren't at the North Pole preparing for Christmas?
It's a great story, and it's a great way of showing people that, and I concentrate specifically on children, and I make them into gift givers. And when I give them a little piece of candy or something like that in reward for their gifting into the kettle, it brings on a conversation with the children to say that it's their first time sometimes of actually knowing that they helped another child. or another family. And their moms and dads will go in and possibly on the way back out of a store or out of an event, they'll come in and they'll actually give us more money as a result and a thank you with a handshake saying, "Thank you, Santa, for instructing my child about what it means to be a gift giver." And so that's been my creed for these 30 plus years, is the not only the joy of seeing people give, but it's the introduction to helping the unknown, helping the people that they'll never see, helping the person that will always be grateful for the donation without having a face beyond it. And so when I bring my face to the children and to the families, it's not only an attraction, it's that introduction and form of a meeting. It's a small meeting. It's a small conversation that happens at the kettle. And when that happens, it's instinctive that people join in on the conversation.
We'll join Carolyn and Chris in just a moment with more of Zuzu All Grown Up.
First, an important message.
To find out more about the organization featured in today's episode or a previous episode and to learn more about how you can help, go to zuzunetwork.com/beanangel.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council have mental health resources available for you at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. See how much further you can go when you take care of your mental health.
This is an important announcement for anyone who wants health insurance, even if you missed the deadline. Right now, you can get the health insurance you and your family need from top insurance providers, even if you have pre-existing conditions or no insurance at all. The Plus Benefits Health Insurance toll-free number has been extended to help anyone who wants health insurance coverage now, or if you need a better plan or a lower price. Call Plus Benefits Health Insurance now at 800-332-1993. The call is 100% free and the help is real. Call 800-332-1993. That's 800-332-1993.
Imagine having all the money you need for retirement, all the income, every month, guaranteed. That's Secure Future Investor, an indexed annuity tied to growth in the stock market, but without any risk of loss ever. It's guaranteed money for life income, no matter how long you live. Call 888-288-7088, 888-288-7088. Sponsored by GP Agency, Inc., Raleigh, NC. Licensed in all states. Performance may vary. Consult your financial professional before making an investment decision.
1 out of 8 women in the United States will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime. And the chances are you know at least one person who's been personally affected. But right now, you can help. It's simple. Donate your unwanted vehicle, RV, or trailer to the United Breast Cancer Foundation. It's the easiest way to contribute to one of the nation's leading charitable organizations. The process is fast, easy, and free. Not only will you be helping, but you'll also receive a tax deduction. The United Breast Cancer Foundation offers an array of programs and services that help and support families and individuals dealing with breast cancer. But we can't do it alone. We need your help. Simply give us a call to get started, and we'll schedule a pickup date that is convenient for you. If you have any questions you would like answered before initiating the donation process, please feel free to call us toll-free at 800-324-6218. That's 800-324-6218. 800-324-6218.
Zuzu's book club features recommendations from Zuzu herself on books she loves and thinks you will love also. All of the books that the club reads, fiction and nonfiction, are inspirational and uplifting. Folks, this is a life-enhancing club to be part of. You can sign up for free at zuzunetwork.com/book club. That's zuzunetwork.com/book club.
Wishing you a Merry Christmas and the happiest New Year.
You're listening to Zuzu All Grown Up.
I bring up my voice when that happens, and I say to the people nearby, I say, conversation at the kettle, conversation at the kettle, people.
Okay.
And it just brings the natural attraction to people.
So, Dan, if anyone today would like to know how to become a Salvation Army volunteer bell ringer, who should they contact?
Well, as Amanda said earlier, registertoring.com is a website that we used for people to allow people to sign up to be a volunteer bell ringer. Almost all of the Salvation Armies in the country use it. Not every one, but most do. And if for some reason, if the one in your town doesn't, you can easily just call the service center and they can set you up. But what's great about registertoring.com is you can see all the locations that are available. So you can pick one that's near you, or you can pick a time or day that's convenient for you. So it's really a nifty tool. And it does help us keep track, not only the volunteer bell ringers, but where we need bell ringers. And let me say, we need bell ringers. And we can talk about that if you like, but yeah, there's always a need for bell ringers.
Could you maybe just elaborate just a little bit more on that?
Sure. The pandemic was not kind to us in terms of bell ringing. As you might guess, there were fewer people signing up for bell ringing. There were fewer people out and about donating. And so that's been a struggle. So those years were difficult. However, as we came out of that, and especially last year, and most kettles around the country made their goals. So that is great. But the interesting thing, I think, that people don't know is that hundreds of thousands of kettle shifts go unfilled every year. Number one, not only do we need more volunteers to ring, but it is very helpful to us because the money that is donated at the kettle does two things. It helps our programs year round, and it stays in the community where it's given. So if you're giving in your hometown, like Seneca Falls for It's a Wonderful Life, for example, that money stays in Seneca Falls. So it's very, very important, I think, that people understand that. And the volunteers, it's something fun. It's really, really fun that people can do. A lot of, as you can see from our guests today, a lot of them just make it their own. And we encourage people to do that, whether they sing or dance or ring with friends or family. We encourage them to do that. So it's very, very important that people sign up. All of our studies show that if there's no one at a kettle, no one donates. So it's the bell ringer that makes all the difference. And a bell ringer at a kettle, ringing a bell, can make between $80 and $100 an hour. And so it's really, really important that we have bell ringers to not only continue the tradition, but to help fund our programs. And especially as people, since there are different ways of people can purchase and people might be carrying less money, more and more important that we have more bell ringers out there. And the second thing I was going to mention is more and more of our kettles now are equipped with what we call tap to give, which is a way that people can make a gift at a kettle by just tapping a chip credit card. Literally takes 2 seconds.
I want to ask Santa Claus here one more question. Do children ask you for gifts when they see you doing the bell?
Oh, well, they typically will ask me why I'm there, number one. And then they'll say, am I on the nice list?
I love that.
And of course, again, that's a conversation starter that I love because I always say, well, you could be on the nicer list. And then, of course, mom and dad will pipe in sometimes. And again, it creates the conversation. It creates the need for me to be there telling them that it's not about me. It's about the kettle. And it's not about them. It's about what goes into the kettle that comes out of the kettle and helps other children put on warm coats and warm boots, just like they're wearing, especially here in Minnesota. So yes, the gift giving is always a question, and they always question my persona. And of course, because I've been, that's how I got my persona, was really by the first 8 years. That's all I did was volunteer as a bell ringer, because back in 1993 there was no such thing as the internet or anything like that. It was just movies and books that I had to look at and say, what does it mean to be a Santa Claus? But I created, and that improvisational skills and all those capabilities of conversation created my character. So I loved it.
If one of our listeners would like to donate to the Red Kettle campaign, how would they do that if they can't find a Red Kettle in their area?
Well, there are online ways to give. Probably the best way to find in their area would be to call their local Salvation Army and just ask. Some places do have online kettles, like on Facebook or social media, and there are different ways to do it, but every location is going to have their own way. So calling your local Salvation Army and just asking them the best way for that location would be the best.
And I will jump in here to mention the national website, because you can make a donation at the national website, and that's salvationarmyusa.org. And why that's important is because the donation that is made there is funneled to the Salvation Army unit in the zip code of the donor. So you might be donating on a national website, but it's going to be routed to your hometown, and it's based on the zip code of the donor. So again, it's salvationarmyusa.org.
I had no idea.
I didn't either.
Wow. I don't think people really realize that. I wonder how you could make that more well known.
Well, we just did.
Well, that's amazing. Well, gosh, thanks, everybody. We should ring a bell again, don't you think?
I think we have to.
And I'm going to say my famous line. Does anybody know what that is? Here we go. Every time a bell rings, angel gets his wings. There you go. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Do you know someone who is earning their wings? Someone practicing kindness and service to others? Perhaps an organization or initiative helping make the world we live in a kinder, sweeter place.
Or maybe you've witnessed the miraculous, the divine, the magnificent in some way in your life, and you'd like to share it with others. Go to zuzunetwork.com/tellmystory and let us know more.
You may end up being featured on an upcoming episode of Zuzu All Grown Up. That's zuzunetwork.com/tellmystory. Now here's Seth Kennedy with today's parting thoughts.
Thanks for sharing the magic of Christmas with us. Oh, but it doesn't end here. We're about to ring in 2025, the year of Christmas. Each month on the 25th, that's 2525 on the calendar, we'll have a special episode dedicated to Christmas to keep the spirit alive throughout the year. We hope with a little extra help from our podcast and possibly 3 ghosts, you will be honoring Christmas in your heart and trying to keep it all the year, just like Dickens would have wanted. Indeed, to quote another legend of Christmas, Mr. Bing Crosby, may I suggest the secret of Christmas is not the things you do at Christmas time, but the Christmas things you do all year through. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year 2025. May your wonderful life be richly blessed at Christmas time and in the new year to come.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Good tidings we bring for you and your King. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now bring us a figgy pudding. Now bring us a figgy pudding. Now bring us a figgy pudding. Nice unto us here. We won't go until we get it. We won't go until we get it. We won't go until we get it. So bring some right here. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Zuzu All Grown Up.
We hope you've been inspired to live your most wonderful life now and to help those around you do the same.
Remember, no matter what you're going through, no matter who you are, there are people who care about you, and your life makes a difference.
It is a wonderful life.
Check out ZuzuNetwork.com for more on today's and other episodes, including transcripts and merchandise you won't want to be without.
New episodes are coming soon.
For transcripts of today's broadcast, go to ZuzuNetwork.com/transcripts. Zuzu All Grown Up with your hosts Carolyn Grimes and Dr. Chris Brunel.
Announcer and guide Seth Kennedy.
Executive producer Kevin R. Stillmock.
Coordinating producer Holly Ann Way.
Technical producer Stella Joel.
Managing producer Karina Filatova.
A Wonderful Land production.
In collaboration with Radio Wonderful.